These classics of cinema are muy bien.
Has viajado en el tiempo.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Spanish-language movies.
Miguel, sal, huevón, ya. Ven.
For this list, we're looking at Spanish-language films, whether they were released over in Spain, Mexico, or anywhere else where Spanish is the first language.
¿Qué traes en el estuche?
Mi guitarra.
Number 10, The Secret in Their Eyes.
Lo único que nos queda son recuerdos. A menos que sea lindo, ¿no?
Here's a movie tip for the casual English-speaking moviegoer. Check out this Argentine thriller before you waste time on the subpar 2015 American version starring Julia Roberts. Directed by Juan J. Campanella and featuring a young Carla Quevedo from HBO's Show Me a Hero, The Secret in Their Eyes demonstrated how to efficiently deliver a truly unforgettable hook, complemented by the overall symbolic take on Argentine politics.
No me agarres, a mí no me agarres, que no sos mi jefe acá y no me hagas pasar papelones delante de mis amigos. ¿Estamos?
It's best to go into this one cold, and by the end of the Academy Award-winning film, you'll probably want to further explore the filmography of its director, beginning with another Argentine classic, 2001's Son of the Bride.
No, yo cine argentino no veo. ¿Viste lo que es andar corriendo detrás de las cuentas todo el día?
No, yo en realidad Argentina no veo.
Number 9, Cell 211.
¿Esa sangre?
Una hostia que me dieron.
Everybody loves a good prison flick, but of course, nobody enjoys being locked up in a literal slammer.
Ese chavo lo estaba vacío.
Ya no.
As the winner of 8 Goya Awards, Daniel Monzón's film details the plights of a prison guard turned accidental inmate. And spoiler alert, Juan Oliver has a few difficult decisions to make.
Bueno, se hace lo que se puede.
However, while many films of the genre will deliver the usual cliches, the director capitalized on the opportunity to comment on both the Basque country of Spain, as well as the country's terrorism.
Aquí os habla Cristiano, se cierra la boca, que no queremos nada de secretito.
Vamos, señores. Topo fuera.
Number 8, Viridiana.
La gallina.
¡Vamos, todos quietos!
By the time of this film's release, director Luis Buñuel had already established himself as a legend, both within the landscapes of Spanish and Mexican cinema.
Mire, señor Ezequiel, qué poca vergüenza. ¡Suelta! ¡Pita, suéltame!
However, Viridiana didn't necessarily please the Italians over at the Vatican. But for a story about the loss of innocence and misunderstandings, there was no one better than Buñuel to figuratively dress up Viridiana.
Andan buscando fetas detrás del sofá.
¿De qué sofá?
Pues de aquel.
In a time when the French New Wave presented new cinematic ideals, this film showcased a master at his best and won the Palme d'Or at Cannes, over a full decade after he won Best Director at the festival for his Mexican production Los Olvidados.
¿Por qué no me pega? Ándele. Usted me trajo aquí, ¿o no? Y ahora se hace la buena.
Number 7, The Orphanage.
¿Me guardas un secreto?
Co-produced by the iconic Mexican filmmaker Guillermo del Toro and starring the daughter of Charlie Chaplin himself, this throwback horror flick marked the directorial debut of J.A. Bayona, who injected a healthy dose of artistry into a genre typically known for cheap tricks.
¿Qué pasa?
Alguien se ha metido en la cama.
Based on the story of a woman flipping her childhood home into the titular orphanage, the narrative requires a certain amount of patience as each page of the script comes to life by way of the superb direction and genuine, if frightening, performances.
¿Dónde estáis? No tengo miedo.
Number 6, Open Your Eyes.
Abre los ojos. Abre los ojos. Abre.
Before Penélope Cruz was a household name in America, she was already well known in her native Spain for starring in this original sci-fi production.
Sí, César, soy Sofía.
Directed by Alejandro Amenábar, Open Your Eyes investigates the perceived realities of a disfigured man and the dreams that would ultimately become his nightmares.
Me acabo de acordar de que tengo la moto en la otra dirección. Pero hombre, te acompaño. No, ¿para qué, tíos, ya casi estás en casa.
By not forcing easy answers upon the viewer, and fueled by the performances of Eduardo Noriega and Cruz, the psychological thriller combines realism and fantasy to deliver a narrative that will find a permanent home within your psyche.
Dios, qué sensación.
¿El qué?
¿No te pasa a veces que te parece haber vivido ya un momento?
Cruz would reprise her role in the American remake Vanilla Sky, but we suggest you seek out the original masterpiece first.
Every passing minute is another chance to turn it all around.
Number 5. Wreck.
Muy buenas noches, les habla Ángela Vidal. Hoy, como cada noche, vamos a compartir estos minutos nocturnos con...
Spanish. Zombie. Horror. Today, the found footage genre has produced its share of surprise hits, but no other international thriller made an impact quite like this Barcelona-shot film.
No. Aquí hay algo más. El móvil no funciona, ni la televisión, ni la radio. Estamos incomunicados. ¿Por qué?
Based on the concept of a news story gone horribly wrong, Wreck found its place in history through an understanding of auditory and visual timing. And by that we mean the film masterfully balances the narrative tension with a sense of genuine terror, as the technical side of the production showcases what can be achieved with framing, timing, and of course, screams. Number 4. All About My Mother. Pedro Almodóvar has long been recognized as one of the preeminent filmmakers of not only his country, but in general.
No eres un ser humano, Lola. Eres una epidemia.
By the close of the 20th century, he made a film truly ahead of its time, as All About My Mother deconstructed social taboos while presenting an otherwise deeply serious narrative with stylistic references to a bygone era of filmmaking.
Pero tú sabes actuar. Sé mentir muy bien. Y estoy acostumbrada a improvisar.
It's also an ode to all the mothers and women of the world.
Mi madre.
¿Tienes una madre? ¿No te acuerdas?
Just a few years later, Almodóvar once again floored moviegoers with another psychological study in Talk to Her.
Benigno, Alicia está prácticamente muerta. No puede sentir nada por nadie, ni por ti, ni por mí, ni siquiera por ella. Métetelo bien en la cabeza.
Number 3. Amores Perros.
Lo madreador no te quita lo pendejo.
Kicking off the so-called Trilogy of Death, Alejandro González Iñárritu's drama thriller is a film that would change the modern landscape of Mexican cinema.
¿Qué es esto? ¿Robo o secuestro?
Puede ser el último día de tu vida, cabrón.
Amid the three chaotic narratives of Amores Perros emerges a frenetic energy, heightened by the pacing of its director, the Mexico City setting, and the collective ensemble of actors, including future star Gael García Bernal.
¿Qué? Síguete conmigo, ven. Vente, vámonos aquí.
With dogs functioning as the symbolic representation of loyalty, Iñárritu digs deep into the essence of what makes us all tick and the cruel realities of the world in which we live.
Mocos, que lo prende del cuello y que lo mata. ¿Y el coffee? Pues ahí está. Coffee, vente para acá. Vente para acá. ¿Qué pasó?
Number 2. Y tu mamá también.
La vida es como la espuma. Por eso hay que darse como el mar.
Rising to the immensely high standards set by Iñárritu the year before, director Alfonso Cuarón unveiled one of the most controversial films of the day by tackling sexuality, the political spectrum of his country, and the spirit of Mexican youths.
Tan majos. Charolastras, ¿sois fieles?
Yeah, we would.
Como debe ser, ¿no?
With the aforementioned Gael García Bernal starring opposite Diego Luna, Y tu mamá también hits the road, thriving by way of a devilish sense of humor and a willingness to challenge a rating system more accepting of overt violence than natural human desires.
No hay nada más difícil que vivir sin ti.
Following the success of this film, Bernal became a worldwide star after portraying a young Che Guevara in 2004's The Motorcycle Diaries.
¿Cómo se explica que una civilización capaz de construir esto sea arrasada para construir esto?
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Técnicamente, estás muerto. Ahora quiero hablar con el muerto.
¿Y eso qué es?
es el bufete de abogados más importante de Nueva York.
Oye, Maggie, ¿por qué no averiguas cómo hacen los elefantes?
Ok.
¿Y a mí no me va a felicitar?
Sí, cómo no. Que sea muy feliz.
Estoy seguro de que así será, pues logré con esta boda lo que tanto anhelaba, estar cerca de usted, la mujer que verdaderamente amo.
Con la frente marchita.
¿Por qué la defiendes? ¿Por qué no quieres que vaya y la cachetee?
Celia, por favor.
¿Quién es? ¿Quién es?
Si te lo digo, todo se acaba entre nosotros.
¡Que se acabe!
Number 1. Pan's Labyrinth.
Con la tiza, trazaréis el contorno de una puerta en cualquier parte de vuestra habitación.
Countless filmmakers have given us temporary escapes from reality through cinema, but not many have been able to succeed on the level of Guillermo del Toro.
No sé que lo que dices es verdad.
¿Por qué habría de mentiros un pobre fauno como yo?
With the Spanish Civil War as a backdrop, this film engulfs viewers in a spectacular fantasy world as young Ophelia encounters creatures that live and breathe through the visual poetry of the imaginative director.
Iréis a un lugar muy peligroso. Tened cuidado.
Pan's Labyrinth represents artistic filmmaking in the most grandiose of ways, thus setting itself apart from the rest of the pack.
Una vez abierta la puerta, iniciad el reloj de arena.
Though The Devil's Backbone might have initially been considered a masterpiece, it's now clear that Del Toro was just getting warmed up. Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite Spanish language movie? For more mind-blowing top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Después de todo lo que he hecho, ¿así es como me tratas?
Nunca te he pedido nada hasta hoy. Déjalo ir.